So this video, just kind of update on some of the stuff that I spoke about in my video talking about futures, and then what's going on with Forex and prop firms and things like that. So in my previous video, I was breaking down the different aspects of what I saw, what was going on, and what I was choosing to do, which was switch to adding Forex and crypto and other things like that to my knowledge base and how I plan to grow my personal funds and then my overall business and things like that. One of the things that I was saying was, because of the uncertainty and because of some of the stuff that I was seeing as far as regulations and restrictions as far as US based clients, I said in the video that I was going to be holding off on what prop firms in the futures market that I would be getting into, and then switching over into the futures market and seeing how their regulations are and what the things for them are. With this, what I'm showing here is everybody's talking about it now, but I still want to highlight some of it. So this is the funded trader. In the past, I've talked about using the funded trader as one of my go-to prop firms in the futures. In the Forex space. I chose them primarily because they were one of the bigger ones. They at the beginning phases of their time, they really didn't have issues with payouts. They had some discrepancies, but for the most part, they paid their people out. It wasn't that many complaints and things like that. It really didn't start having big complaints from them until the start of this year, January of 2024. You could also possibly say December. I had little issues with them in the past, like primarily with slippage. It was like a time or two where I had said some stuff in the Discord or posted a picture about being taken out of my trade before the price even went there. Now, in two of those, the price did end up going to where my stop loss was, but my thing was, say for instance, it was like a Sunday, and when the markets opened at 5, it stopped me out of my trade, but the price didn't reach that level until Monday morning around 9 or 8:30 open. And it's like, dang, how did you slip me out of there and it wasn't even there yet? And then I had another issue one time where I was in a Discord and I was complaining about not having access to an account, and I had made the statement like, see, this is why I left TFT and whatever like that, but I chose to come back, and one of the moderators was like, well, you should have stayed gone, and then kicked me off the Discord. So after having those issues, I really didn't have any, I kind of felt some type of way about the funded trader, but I looked at it as, okay, well, I'm going to use you guys because, again, at that time, they were still they were still at the top 3, if not top 3, top 5 of big prop firm trader platforms that's paying. I had plenty of clients and things like that. So I was like, well, I might not like their customer service and all these things like that, but as long as I get to the point where if I buy me an account and they pay me, as long as they pay me, I don't care about none of that, because I'm going to be taking that money and putting it into my own personal account anyways. But starting primarily, like I said, in January, they started having more and more issues. A lot of it, I believe, started with the MT5 and 4 being taken off, so they had to change platforms, and then also spending habits. I've seen a lot of videos and some things like that talking about what they were doing with the money and not properly, paying out and having a bad image and bad look on things. I didn't see the video, but I know a couple of people talked about, apparently there was some video with the founder of TFT or some of his people in the club throwing some money when people were on their platforms were complaining about getting payouts. So things like that ultimately have hurt the company. Now they're trying to say they're going to come back. Who is to say? We don't know. Ultimately, things like this has hurt the branding in general. Not to say they can't come back from this, but it'll be an uphill battle until they rebuild trust in their clients and stuff like that. And even then, I don't know if they're going to come back as Forex or they're going to try to branch out into the futures market or whatever they do. It's just that I just wanted to highlight this and show that. And that's why I said I was going to take a break to see what happened, because I didn't want to have my money held up in a company and then things go bad. So that's why I was like, I was going to wait a couple of months, wait at least a couple of weeks, but most likely a couple of months to see what happens from the fallout of everything that was going on. And this is one of the fallouts. TFT is down now. If you come over here to YouTube, you'll see there's a lot of people making videos about what's going on with the TFT and some of the prop firm industry right now. And then again, going back to what I was saying in my previous video of talking about these things, I knew that something was coming up. There's too many. I don't really believe in too many coincidentals, or not paying attention to too many coincidental things. So me seeing what was going on in the market is why I said in that video that I was going to take a step back and see what was going to go on with the market, so that way my money wouldn't be trapped up, and then I can see who was going to be able to survive in the market after new regulations, or after basically the bad companies got kicked out. Whoever would be left standing would be the companies that were reliable. I also talk about like switching to the futures or gaining information in this platform. I went to this because futures, so this is my plus 500 demo account. So looking at the futures, you can still do Forex. You still have, it might not be everything that you're used to trading, but they still have Forex. They have metals, they have energies, they have crypto, agriculture. So now, but this is a platform where the futures platforms are more regulated. They have a stronger history and client base, and they have more established rules and guidelines and stuff like that, so that way both parties are benefiting from it. And so that's why I said I've been learning these different platforms, so that way I can expand my knowledge in general. And that way, when I come here, I can still trade Forex, but now I don't have to just stick with Forex. I can do all these other things to raise my profit or my brand name or capital, whatever it may be. Whenever you're doing any of these things, it's always important to know that there's always going to be pros and cons to everything. With what's going on now, Forex had already had a bad rep, with some people thinking it was a scam and things like that, or any financial markets. Really, some people don't like any type of financial markets when it comes to things like this. But you always have to weigh out your pros and cons and make sure that the pros outweigh the cons, and that you have a plan to execute with those people or those times when you're also being used. Because ultimately, a lot of these prop firms, they get paid because they know 80 to 85 or 90% of people are going to fail. So that's how they get their money. That's how they know. But you also have to realize, okay, yeah, they're using me because they think that I'm going to blow my account, and then they can keep my fee for my evaluation fee. But if I know that I am at a skill set or a skill level where I can get my payouts, then you're only going to use me to the extent that I allow you to use me. And then now I'm using you to grow my personal account. So a lot of people, I don't feel we're looking at it like that. And that's where the issues come in at. And then a lot of times too, I don't think a lot of these companies really understood some of the power of online now. So you have more exposure. You can connect with more people that maybe have signals or Patreons or Discords and things like that, where it can be more people taking the same trades, risking more and things like that. And so therefore, yeah, it might be 80% of people or even 90% of people are failing. But when you got that 10% of people just going crazy, you may not be able to keep up. And I think that was one of the issues that was going on with the funded trader And then if you don't have right business management in positions, I don't know how true it was, but I know like one or two of the videos I watched, they were talking about how a lot of people felt some type of way that some of the hires up and maybe even the founders were in the club throwing money when they were having issues with payouts. So all of those things add up. You already having bad reputation, bad rapport with people, and then they feel like you're not respecting them and you're still doing you. It's gonna come back on you. They're saying they're gonna rebrand or relaunch. You never know what's gonna happen. If they do, that's good. But ultimately, this has hurt them, and it's gonna be an uphill battle trying to regain that trust from people willing to put their money in with them. I don't want to make this video too long. I just kind of wanted to talk, put some insight on that. Like I said, I had already made a previous video saying that I was going to step back and just see who was going to be left standing after everything. But honestly, I don't know if I may in the future go back to Forex, but prop futures have everything pretty much that I would be looking for anyway. So why risk it? And again, with futures, they're more regulated. They have longer histories and it's more trustworthy. So why put myself in that position, and I can just continue doing futures trading. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.